We do fly a little bit under the radar, but we're building something real. There's a need for asset tracking, and BeWhere can fill that need right away. My name is Margaux Berry. I'm the Vice President of Growth and Strategy at BeWhere. I come from a bit of a different industry. I graduated from a Master's in Finance in France. Prior being at BeWhere, I used to be in equity analyst in equity research. And then I moved into investment banking, and that's how I met BeWhere. Originally it was in, I believe, 2016. They were looking to raise capital through the RTO, their go public transaction. And I was working for one of the banking that they used to raise the funds. I met the team, I met Owen Moore, and I met Chris Pensuk through the first meetings that we had, and we really got it on. And a little later, through mutual relationships, I was able to bring one of the first clients to BeWhere, and following which Owen asked me if I wanted to join. I jumped on the opportunity because it was a great opportunity for me to move away from the finance industry, which was not really my thing anymore. BeWhere is an asset tracking company. So we track assets, we track equipment. Originally, when we started in 2016, we started with Bluetooth beacons. In 2017, we started creating our first cellular GPS asset trackers as the networks were being implemented around the world. In 2018 is when we sold our first GPS asset tracker, and since then we've been growing quite exponentially, actually, at the rate of about 80,000 new devices sold per year. Our core market is to track non-powered equipment such as trailers or tractors, bulldozers, backhoes, so very industrial based. And more recently, we have launched a new asset tracker called the BeWhere, where we're starting to track things that are a bit more fun, such as bicycles, golf carts, and a lot more. We were one of the first company in the world, if not the first, to develop an IoT compatible tracker. Therefore, we were able to provide devices to carriers that had those network ready, but nothing to sell. It's like, hey, pop in your SIM card and you're good to go. You can start selling new subscriptions into a market that has been, pretty slow over the past few years. There is a lot of vehicle tracking GPS in your cars that are being used by fleets of transportation companies, for example. Tracking assets is very new. And the reason for that is that it used to be way too expensive to use GPS trackers that are cellular based to track, something that costs $5,000. Trailers is where the asset tracking industry really started, but all the different original equipment, original trackers were really expensive as well. When we started, our idea was to develop an asset tracker that would be really affordable. And that was made possible with those new networks, those IoT networks, what we called LTE-M or NB-IoT in our world. Those are low power 5G networks, and they consume very little data, which results in very little subscription costs in the range of $1 to $2 per month per se. So what really excites me with BeWhere is that we were able to not only displace an entire category of asset trackers, and still today we win RFPs and we win contract where you had companies that were established and way bigger just because we're able to offer something smaller and cheaper. And because it is a new industry, because it is a new network, the technology is evolving constantly. We got there really at the beginning, and now we're evolving in terms of components and size of components and what else we can do on those networks. So this is to give you an idea. This is what we started in 2018. This was our first kind of generation of GPS cellular asset tracker. And only 2 years later, this is, what we can get in terms of different size. So this is, a bit bigger here for you to see the difference of the size. One of the main advantages of BeWhere is the team that we have. Our founders, Owen and Chris, our CTO, Alvin, marketing, Brian, everybody comes from the GPS industry, the telematics industry. So they all come from something that they're very familiar with. They have a huge clout. Owen has taken company public and sold them successfully to other telematics company. So the reputation of the founders is really good. What that has allowed BeWhere to is go to customers with an existing relationship. or partnership with Bell, for example. It's not any 13 employee company that can go and land an exclusivity with Bell in Canada, because they had proven success in the past with this new technology, which is GPS tracking cellular. So there's subscription involved. It's very attractive to carriers. So having support of companies like Bell and then AT&T and like T-Mobile, this is all what is helping us today with a very small number of employees making huge deals in a sense. It is very, very exciting. And this is not the end. I mean, there's a lot more innovations that are happening in the background from the carriers, from the component manufacturer. This is what really excites us at BeWhere, is that it is a huge market. It's very young, so there's lots of room for many players, not just BeWhere, although we are one of the earliest players. And with the different size, we can start fulfilling different applications. With the arrival of Renewable Mini, we can now start tracking smaller things or things that make more sense. For example, I'm tracking my car. By just putting this into USB port, I have 2 minutes update on my car anywhere, and there is also a Wi-Fi location service on it. So it means that I can track it through Wi-Fi networks. Doesn't need to use a password. It just tracks indoor and outdoor. We have so many new projects with so many different kind of clients. We have some deals that are happening that we'll talk more at a later date, where we track bikes in Europe. It's quite incredible. We're always doing asset tracking with a highly certified device that is, supported by carriers at a fairly affordable cost. Our devices are very, very highly sophisticated and yet remain a low cost. So we're starting to see new use cases on various markets that are extremely exciting for us. There's literally almost no end with the evolution of the technology and the new applications. There's almost, the sky is the limit for BeWhere today.